The sun on Planet Xalor was pale and cold even during the day. The sky always looked gray and the air smelled like metal. Lena walked slowly through the market street, holding her daughter's small hand. Her boots were old. Her coat had holes. But her back was straight and her eyes stayed strong. Lena was a human, and on Planet Xalor that was a problem. Aliens didn't trust humans. Long ago there was a war. Many aliens still remembered it. They thought humans were liars, dangerous, and wild, so now no alien wanted to hire a human, especially not a single mother. Lena had gone to 10 shops that morning. Each time she asked politely. And each time, the answer was the same. We don't hire humans. We don't want trouble. Try somewhere else. Her daughter Mara looked up with tired eyes. Mom, I'm hungry. Lena smiled even though her heart was heavy. I know, sweetheart. Just one more place. They walked to the edge of the market, where the buildings turned rusty and broken. A sign above one old building said, Reed's Junkyard. Lena hesitated. It didn't look like a place that hired people, but she had no other choice. She stepped inside. Inside, the air was warmer. Machines and broken parts were stacked everywhere. Old robot arms, cracked hoverbikes, empty energy cells. And in the middle of it all stood a tall human man, dusty, strong and silent. He looked at Lena, then at Mara. You looking for scrap? He asked. I'm looking for work, Lena replied, her voice steady. Anything. I can clean, fix things, carry parts. The man narrowed his eyes. Name? Lena. This is my daughter, Mara. He looked at the child, then back at Lena. No one else would hire you, huh? Lena didn't answer. She didn't need to. After a long silence, the man said, I'm Reed. I could use help, but this place isn't safe. Machines are sharp, some explode. I can handle it, Lena said quickly. I've worked with machines before. On Earth before. She didn't finish. Reed didn't ask. He nodded once. Fine, you start tomorrow. Bring the kid if you have to, but she stays out of the scrap zone. Lena blinked. She had expected another rejection. Instead, she got a job. Thank you, she whispered. Reed turned away. Don't thank me yet. That night, Lena and Mara stayed in their small metal room near the garbage sector. It was cold, and the light flickered, but for the first time in weeks, Lena felt a little hope. Mara held a cracked toy in her hand, a small alien bird that chirped when squeezed. Is he nice, Mama? Lena thought about Reed's hard eyes and rough voice. I don't know yet, but he gave us a chance. The next morning, Lena arrived at the junkyard early. Reed handed her gloves and tools. Don't touch anything. Glowing red. That means unstable, he said. Separate metal from plastic. Put working parts in the blue bin. Got it? Lena nodded. Yes. She worked fast, careful not to make mistakes. Mara sat nearby, drawing on scraps with a broken stylus. Now and then, Reed looked at the child, his face unreadable. At noon, Reed brought out 2 protein bars. He gave one to Lena. She broke it in half and gave the bigger piece to Mara. You could eat the full thing, Reed said. I'm used to less, Lena replied with a small smile. Reed didn't smile back, but he didn't take the bar away, either. Later that day, Lena found a small metal box with strange alien markings. She picked it up. It buzzed slightly in her hand. Hey, Reed, she called out. What's this? Reed rushed over. His face turned serious. Where did you get this? In the pile over there. Reed took it carefully. Don't ever touch something like this again unless I say so. What is it? Something dangerous. Let's just say, not all this junk is from legal places. Lena looked at him closely. Are you in trouble? Reed gave her a sharp look. Not yet. And you won't be either, if you follow the rules. That night, while Mara slept, Lena sat by the broken heater and thought. Reed was hiding something. This wasn't just a junkyard, and she was now part of it. But for now, her daughter had food. They had a roof. And for the first time, an alien world hadn't rejected her. She didn't know what Reed's real work was. But she knew one thing, for sure. He gave her a chance when no one else did, and that chance might change everything. Lena had been working at the junkyard for 5 days now. Every day she sorted scrap, cleaned out broken machines, and stayed away from the red glowing parts, just like Reed had warned. But the more she worked, the more she noticed something strange. Reed didn't just fix junk. Sometimes, late at night, he disappeared into the locked back room. When he came out, he smelled like burning wires and had small burns on his hands. Once, Lena saw him carrying a power core that no normal person could afford. Another time, she heard alien voices from inside. But when she checked, no one was there. Something was going on. One evening, after Mara had fallen asleep in her corner with her little bird toy, Reed handed Lena a thick glove and a strange round tool. "Come with me," he said quietly. Lena hesitated. "What for?" "You said you've fixed machines before. Let's see if that was true." He led her to the back of the junkyard, where a hidden staircase led underground. As they walked down, the air changed. It smelled clean, too clean, like something was being filtered. The walls were made of polished metal, not rusted plates like upstairs. Reed placed his hand on a scanner and a steel door slid open. What Lena saw inside made her step back. It wasn't a workshop, it was a lab. Inside were alien drones, plasma coils, cloaking devices, and old human tech, mixed together. Half-built machines lined the walls. A strange silver drone floated silently in the corner, watching them. "You built all this?" she whispered. Reed nodded. "I repair, I rewire, I redesign." "For who?" Reed walked over to a large device shaped like a chair. Wires ran into the floor like roots. "For peace," he said. Lena didn't understand. "Peace?" Reed sat down, wiped sweat from his forehead, and spoke in a low voice. "Aliens hate humans, that's what they've been taught. But war is bad for business, even alien business. Some powerful aliens want to fix that." Quietly, he leaned forward. "They pay me to build machines that stop war before it starts. Devices that jam weapons, cloak human ships, or send fake signals to keep fleets away from Earth." Lena was speechless. "That's dangerous." Reed nodded slowly. "Everything worth doing is." She looked around again. "Why are you showing me this?" "Because I need help. Not just cleaning help, real help. You're smart, fast, and you're not just working for money. You're working for your daughter." Lena felt her heart pound. "But if they find out..." "They won't," Reed interrupted. "Unless you say something." Lena looked into his eyes. For the first time, he looked tired. Not physically, but tired from hiding. From fighting quietly. From doing it alone. "What do you need me to do?" she asked finally. Reed walked to a covered table and pulled back a black cloth. Under it was something terrifying. A broken alien weapon. A gravity bomb. Banned across 4 galaxies. Lena gasped. "You're fixing this?" "No," Reed said calmly. "We're disarming. Someone smuggled it through a food shipment. I intercepted it. Now I need your hands." She swallowed hard. "I'm not trained for this." Reed placed the round tool in her hand again. "I'll teach you." Lena looked at the bomb, then at the wall where Mara's drawing hung, taped to a power console. She took a deep breath. "Okay." The next 2 hours passed like a blur. Reed guided her hand while she disabled a trigger. Her gloves shook. Her face dripped with sweat. At one point, a wire sparked and Lena almost dropped the tool. But Reed's hand steadied hers. By the end, the bomb was cold and silent. "You did good," Reed said quietly. Lena sat down on the floor, exhausted. "I thought I was going to die." "You didn't. That matters." Just then, a soft beep echoed in the lab. A screen lit up. Unknown contact approaching. Reed's face turned dark. That's early. Lena stood up. Who is it? He grabbed a cloak from the wall and handed her a small earpiece. Someone who might not want peace after all. The lab went dark as the alert echoed again. Unknown contact approaching, distance 200 meters. Lena stood still, heart pounding. Reed pulled a lever, and part of the wall shifted, revealing a small escape tunnel. Take Mara. Hide in here. Don't come out until I call. Lena hesitated. Who is it? Reed didn't answer. His face was tense. His hands were already grabbing tools and closing the bomb container. Lena nodded and ran upstairs. She found Mara half asleep near the heater. Come on, baby. We have to go, she whispered. Mara blinked. Where, Mama? Somewhere safe. They climbed into the tunnel. The door shut silently behind them. Outside, a ship hovered above the junkyard. It was black, silent, and smooth. No lights, no marks, not alien, not fully human. Something in between. A ramp opened. From it stepped an alien, a tall one, with shimmering silver skin and long dark eyes. His name was Senra Vel, a known tech dealer in the outer sectors. He smiled at Reed. Still hiding your talents in trash piles? He said smoothly. Reed didn't smile. What do you want, Senra? Senra walked slowly around the yard, touching random machines like a rich buyer in a cheap store. You intercepted my shipment. Reed crossed his arms. Wasn't yours. It was a bomb. Illegal. Dangerous. Senra turned. His smile faded. You forget your place, Reed. You are just a fixer. I'm more than that, Reed replied, and I'm not alone anymore. Senra's eyes flicked for a second. He'd noticed something. A small child's drawing stuck to a wall. His smile returned. I see. A human woman and her child. How sweet. Meanwhile, deep in the tunnel, Mara whispered, Mama. Someone's here. Lena hugged her tight. I know, sweetheart. We're just waiting. Quiet now. Suddenly, the earpiece in Lena's ear crackled. Reed's voice. He's not alone. There's a second ship cloaked nearby. Stay hidden. If I don't signal in 10 minutes, run. Lena's breath caught in her throat. But then, Mara whispered something strange. Mama. The wall is talking. What? Mara pointed. The tunnel wall shimmered, and then lines of text began glowing on the surface. Not human, not alien. Something ancient. Lena stared. It's a code. But how did you trigger it? I touched this, Mara said, showing a small metal coin Reed had once given her to play with. It was now glowing in her hand. Suddenly, part of the tunnel shifted, opening a hidden door. Behind it was another chamber. Inside, rows of small machines, floating cubes, pulsing with light. Lena stepped in slowly. These aren't just machines. They're messages. One cube floated toward her. When she touched it, it projected a hologram. A human woman's face appeared. Her voice echoed, If you are hearing this, then peace has failed. These devices hold the memories of every secret negotiation between alien factions and Earth. Protect them, or everything ends. Lena's eyes widened. This wasn't just a lab. It was a vault. A truth vault. Back outside, Senra walked closer to Reed. Tell me where the bomb is, or I tell the Xalor guard you're building illegal tech for humans. Reed's jaw tightened. If I die, a signal goes out. You'll be hunted, by both sides. Senra's eyes narrowed. You'd risk war, just to protect a woman and her brat. Reed said nothing, but in that silence, a new voice rang out, cold and female. That's enough. It came from behind Senra. A cloaked figure stepped out, an alien female warrior, armor shining, gun raised. Her name, Commander Vela from the Peacekeeper Circle, Reed's secret ally. Senra froze. You were warned not to cross the line, she said, aiming her weapon. You crossed it. Now step back. Inside the hidden vault, Lena watched more. Holograms, alien leaders shaking hands, human scientists sharing cures. So many things the galaxy had hidden. Mara looked up at her. Mama, are we part of something big now? Lena smiled sadly. Yes, baby. Bigger than we ever knew. Just then, the earpiece buzzed again. Reed's voice. It's safe. Come. Out. We've made new enemies, and maybe one new friend. The air in the junkyard had changed. The silence after Senra's retreat was heavy, almost like the storm hadn't ended. It was just waiting. Lena sat with Mara on the metal steps of the back lab. Her hands still trembled after what she saw inside the vault. All those secrets. Hidden under trash, Reed leaned against the wall, bandaging a burn on his arm. Is it always like this? Lena asked quietly. Reed didn't look up. No, it's usually worse. Mara spoke suddenly. That alien woman saved us, the one with the armor. Reed nodded. Vela. She's one of the few who believes humans aren't all monsters. But she won't protect us forever. Lena looked out across the scrapyard. Then what now? Before Reed could answer, a soft whistle came from the shadows. From behind a half-crushed ship, a cloaked figure stepped forward. Lena moved quickly in front of Mara, but Reed held out a hand. He's with me. The figure pulled back his hood. He wasn't human. His skin was dark blue, almost like stone. His eyes glowed softly with violet light. This was Carex. Carex was a Xalorian, a race known for pride, memory, and deep hate for humans. But this one walked slowly, carefully like he was walking toward fire. Reed greeted him with a nod. I told you not to come here directly. I had to, Carex said, his voice smooth but full of tension. They're watching me anyway. Lena stepped forward. Why is a Xalorian working with humans? Carex looked at her. Because I stopped believing the lies. He reached into his satchel and pulled out a small cube. This came from a mining colony bombed 6 years ago. Your people were blamed. Reed explained. It was on the news. Humans were accused of attacking innocent aliens. Earth almost got sanctioned. But, Carex added, the truth is here in this cube. The attackers were not humans, they were mercenaries hired by one of our own leaders to keep the war alive. Lena's eyes widened. You knew this and said nothing? Carex lowered his head. I was young. I believed in loyalty. But when my own brother died because of the lies, I started digging. Reed took the cube. With this, we can prove humans weren't behind the attacks. Carex nodded. But there's a price. The next evening, the junkyard turned quiet. Carex sat in the shadows covered in a stolen worker's cloak. Lena and Reed worked on the signal booster, modifying an old tower antenna to broadcast the truth to a secret rebel network of aliens and humans. Suddenly, Mara came running from the workshop. Mama, there's something under the floor. Lena followed, confused. Mara pointed to a loose metal tile. Lena pulled it back. Underneath was a small, ancient box with alien runes. Carex appeared behind her. That's Xalorian, very old. They opened the box. Inside, a memory crystal. Very rare, very dangerous. When placed on the reader, the image was clear. An alien council chamber. Leaders watching a screen. A human colony shown burning. One alien says this will keep fear alive for another 50 years. Lena gasped. They planned it all? Reed clenched his fists. And they'll kill to keep it hidden. That night, as stars shined cold above Planet Xalor, Carex stood alone outside the junkyard. He looked up. His people lived up there, in the shining towers of the floating cities. They thought he was a traitor. Maybe he was. But for the first time in his life, he felt clean. Reed stepped beside him. You okay? Carex didn't answer. Reed placed a hand on his shoulder. You betrayed your own, for the truth. That takes more courage than war. Carex finally spoke. My brother would have done the same. Reed smiled. Then maybe there's still hope for this galaxy. Inside the lab, Lena tucked Mara into a warm blanket. Her eyes drifted to the glowing crystal on the table, the one that could shake everything. She whispered, "They were wrong about us." Mara smiled sleepily. "You mean humans?" "No," Lena said softly. "Single mothers." The night on Planet Xalor was unusually quiet. Too quiet. Inside Reed's junkyard lab, Lena stared at the data crystal glowing on the table. It held the truth. Proof that humans were framed. Proof that aliens in power had lied for years. Outside, Carex watched the stars. His heart beat faster with each second. He felt it. Danger was coming. Suddenly, all the lights in the junkyard blinked, then went out. Total blackout. Reed's voice echoed from the back. "Hide the crystal, now." Lena grabbed it, slipped it inside Mara's small drawing book, and held her daughter's hand tight. Then the sound of ships, multiple ships, roared overhead. Red lights flashed through the sky as 3 stealth patrols landed outside the fence. The Xalor enforcers had arrived. "Move out! Search the area!" Lena heard boots, dozens of them, robots and alien soldiers sweeping the yard. Reed rushed in and pulled up a hatch in the floor. "Tunnel, now!" Carex was already helping Mara climb down. Lena followed. "Where does it lead?" Reed replied. "Old sewage tunnel. Leads to the edge of the canyon." "What about you?" she asked. Reed smiled. "I've got junk to throw." He slammed the hatch shut behind them. The tunnel was dark, wet, and smelled like rot. Lena carried Mara in one arm, using the other to feel along the wall. Carex walked ahead, lighting the path with a flickering tool. Suddenly, they reached a fork. Left path, longer, safer, but too slow. Right path, quicker, but went through ruin zone 9, a place abandoned for centuries. Carex stopped. "We must choose." Lena hesitated. "Which way do we survive?" Before he could answer, the wall behind them exploded. Soldiers had found the hatch. No more time. Lena turned toward the right tunnel. "We go through the ruins." Carex looked surprised. "You sure?" She nodded. "I have my daughter. I don't run anymore. I choose." They ran through ancient corridors, once part of an alien research base. Strange markings still glowed on the walls. Faint sounds echoed. Machines? Ghosts? They didn't stop to ask. Suddenly a drone dropped from above. Metal body, red scanner eye. It locked onto Lena. Carex pulled out a small sonic device and launched it at the drone. Boom. The drone fell apart mid-air. They kept running, far behind. Them Reed stood on top of a pile of junk facing 3 enforcer ships. "Where is the human woman?" barked the commander. Reed didn't move. "Gone. You helped a traitor and a child escape." "Why?" Reed's voice was steady. "Because I'm tired of being quiet." They shot at him. He dove into the wreckage, activating a hidden defense. Bot. Metal arms and energy nets shot into the sky, trapping 2 ships. But the 3rd ship escaped, flying after Lena's path. Back in the ruins, Lena and Carex reached a control room, half broken, full of dust. Carex powered up the console. A large screen flickered. Static. Then a message. "Emergency beacon ready for activation." Carex whispered, "This could call the rebel fleet." Lena looked at her daughter, who held the drawing book tight, the crystal inside glowing through the pages. "Once we send the truth," Lena said, "they'll come for us harder." Carex nodded. "Or, they'll come to protect us." She placed the crystal into the port. The console scanned it. The data uploaded. Then, signal locked, transmitting in 60 seconds, but a loud clang behind them stopped their breath. The 3rd ship had landed. The door burst open. An alien soldier aimed a weapon straight at Lena, but before he could fire, Mara stepped forward. The drawing book in her hands glowed so bright, it blinded everyone for a second. Her voice was soft. "Don't hurt my mom." The energy from the book surged outward. The memory crystal inside had triggered something ancient in the ruins. The walls lit up. A hidden machine deep under the floor awoke. Suddenly a booming voice echoed from the ceiling. Truth accepted. Protector mode initiated. The floor opened. Massive defender drone rose from below, older than any tech on Xalor. It scanned the room, saw Lena, saw Mara, then pointed its arm at the enemy soldier and fired a net of light, trapping him instantly. Lena's mouth dropped open. What is this? Carrick stared in awe. The ruins were never just ruins, they were waiting for a truth-bearer, and that truth-bearer was a child. The ruins were shaking. The ancient protector drone stood in front of Lena and Mara, its metallic arm still glowing with energy. Smoke from the stunned alien soldier filled the air. But the danger wasn't over. The console beeped again. Signal transmission, 25%. Upload incomplete. Interference detected. Carrick rushed to the controls. Something is blocking the signal. Lena held Mara close. We need to finish it. Carrick frowned. The signal tower is buried, too old, too weak. Suddenly the protector drone turned toward a large broken wall. Its eyes lit up, scanning the structure. Then, a part of the wall shifted and opened. Behind, it stood a tall alien device shaped like a tower covered in roots and dust, but still humming with ancient power. The drone spoke. Primary beacon, operational. Designed to broadcast to intergalactic relay satellites. Input truth key to continue. Carrick gasped. This isn't just a lab. It's a galactic truth station. It was built to end wars. Lena stepped forward and pulled the glowing crystal from Mara's drawing book. This is the key, she whispered. As soon as she placed the crystal into the beacon's core, the tower roared to life. Energy surged up its sides like fire climbing a tree. Outside clouds gathered unnaturally. Lightning sparked. Blue, not white. Ancient alien tech was speaking again, after hundreds of years. Then, the sky opened. A beam of golden light shot straight, up into the stars. Far away, in deep space, a rebel fleet commander, an old alien named Brusque, saw the signal flash on his ship's radar. He leaned forward. That code hasn't been used in over 400 cycles. His second-in-command whispered, It's coming from Xalor. Brusque stood up. Set course now. Someone just told the galaxy the truth. Back on Xalor, inside the ruins, the tower hummed louder. The floor cracked beneath them. Carrick shouted, The system's overloading. The crystal, it's burning too fast. Lena reached for it, but the tower locked her out. No, that crystal holds everything, she cried. The protector drone turned toward her. To save the message, one must stay behind to finish the transfer manually. Everyone went silent. Carrick looked at her. If the system shuts off now, all of this is gone. Lena's eyes dropped to her daughter. Mara looked back quietly. Then Reed's voice buzzed through the earpiece. Lena, I fixed the outer gate. I can buy you 10 more minutes, but that's it. Tears formed in Lena's eyes. She turned to Carrick. You take Mara. You protect her. Show her a galaxy that doesn't lie. Carrick looked shocked. No. We can find another way. Lena smiled softly. There is no other way. Not if we want a future built on truth. Mara grabbed her mother's hand tightly. No, Mama. Please. Lena knelt down, hugged her daughter, and whispered, You already saved the world, my little star. Now go live in it. As Carrick carried Mara out through a secret exit, Lena stood alone in front of the beacon. She placed her hand on the final panel. The system asked, Do you choose to send the truth, no matter the cost? She whispered, Yes. Then pressed the button. The beam shot higher, faster, brighter. Every satellite in the region lit up. Every secure alien server buzzed with new data. Images of the Council's lies. Videos of the framed attacks. Voice records of alien leaders admitting to deception. It was no longer a secret. The galaxy now knew the truth. Far above Xalor in orbit, the rebel fleet arrived. They watched the beam of light piercing the dark. Commander Brusque ordered, Send. Teams down. Protect the source and find who sent it. But when they arrived, Lena was gone. Only the beacon remained, still glowing, and next to it, a small drawing, a stick figure of a woman holding a child's hand. The words below it, written by Mara. My mama was brave, she told the truth when no one else would. 3 solar cycles passed since the truth beam lit up the sky of Xalor. In that short time, everything changed. The Galactic Council was shaken. Protests broke out on over 20 alien worlds. Old peace agreements were reopened, and the ancient war records rewritten, but some names were never forgotten. At the center of this change, stories spread across the stars. About a human woman who risked her life to tell the truth. About her daughter who carried the message. And about a beacon buried beneath junk and ruins that spoke louder than any weapon ever could. Mara now lived on a peaceful green moon, far from Xalor. She was older now, only by a few years, but she had changed. She walked with confidence. She spoke with fire, and beside her always was Carex, the alien who once hated humans, but now protected one like family. She attended the Interplanetary Youth Academy, the first school where human and alien children studied together. One day, during class, a teacher asked the students, "Who inspired you to be here today?" Mara raised her hand and stood up. "My mother," she said. She was just a mechanic, a single mother. No army, no ship, no power. But she had the truth, and the galaxy listened. Meanwhile, in a hall above the clouds of Xalor, Reed stood before a crowd of thousands. He wore no uniform, just the same dusty jacket from the junkyard, but everyone listened. He spoke to peacekeepers, rebel leaders, and old enemies. "You all wanted a war," he said calmly, "but a mother gave you peace." He opened a small box and placed something on the table, Lena's memory crystal. Then he turned and walked away, not needing applause. Later that night, Carex sat with Mara under the stars. She looked up at him. "Do you think she knew it would work?" Carex smiled slowly. "I think she didn't care. She only knew that someone had to try." They were silent for a moment. Then Mara pulled out her drawing book, still old, still wrinkled. On the last page, a new drawing, a group of aliens of all shapes and colors standing together. Above them, a small sign that said, "Repair Shop of Hope." Carex laughed softly. "What's this?" "It's what I'll build one day," Mara said. "Not a warship, not a lab, a place where anyone, alien or human, can come and fix things." "Even their hearts?" Mara nodded. "Especially their hearts." Far away, deep in an archive vault, Lena's name was etched into stone. Lena Marin, the one who chose truth over fear, and below that, she wasn't a soldier, she wasn't a queen, she was something stronger, a mother who never gave up.